Every word you speak, type, or think carries a frequency that extends far beyond the physical world. When you text him, you are not just pressing buttons. You are transmitting a vibration that he feels energetically, even if he doesn't consciously understand it. Energy doesn't lie. It reveals the place you're operating from: fear or confidence, desperation or certainty, lack or abundance. When your message comes from a vibration of insecurity, it will feel heavy, confusing, or needy. But when your message is rooted in calm assurance, it carries a magnetic pull that draws him closer without effort. The 5 words that make him chase are not magic in themselves. Their power lies in the energy you infuse into them. Your vibration determines his reaction. Most people underestimate how much energy influences communication. They think attraction is built only through what's said, the clever line, the flirty tone, the witty response. But energy speaks louder than words. If you send a text while doubting your worth or fearing rejection, that frequency is transmitted in the pauses, the punctuation, the timing. He feels it before he even processes the words. The subconscious picks up on energy faster than the conscious mind does. That's why sometimes you can say something perfectly normal, yet it feels off, and he pulls away. It's not the words, it's the vibration behind them. When you start to shift your awareness and understand that communication is energetic first, verbal second, you begin to play on an entirely different level. You become intentional. You no longer text from impulse or anxiety, waiting for validation. You text from alignment, knowing your worth doesn't depend on his reply. This is where the dynamic changes. When you vibrate at a higher frequency, one that says, "I am desirable, I am calm, I am enough," your energy creates a field of attraction around you. You become the source of emotional stability, and that stability is intoxicating. Men are drawn to women whose energy feels centered because it offers a contrast to their chaos. Think of it like a radio signal. If you are tuned to a station of doubt, frustration, or impatience, that is exactly what will broadcast through your messages. But when you tune into the frequency of self-assurance, peace, and joy, your words naturally resonate with warmth and strength. It's not about trying to be perfect or pretending to be detached. It's about being energetically consistent with your truth. The right 5 words are simply the channel through which your vibration travels. They work only because you are in alignment with their message. Every relationship, every attraction is a reflection of internal energy. When you radiate self, respect, and emotional balance, your texts become powerful triggers of connection. He starts associating you with calm, curiosity, and positive energy. He feels lighter when he interacts with you, and that feeling becomes addictive. You're no longer trying to chase his attention because your energy naturally commands it. The more you ground yourself in this awareness, the more your communication becomes effortless, impactful, and magnetic beyond words. Men are emotional creatures, though they rarely admit it. Beneath their logic, independence, and composure lies a deep desire to feel wanted, seen, and admired. When you send a message that touches the emotional core, you awaken something primal in him, the desire to chase, to protect, to prove himself worthy. These 5 words are not about manipulation or mind games. They are about emotional intelligence. They speak directly to his subconscious needs, bypassing logic and reaching the place where attraction truly lives. The masculine energy responds to emotional triggers, not reasoning. When you understand this, you stop trying to impress him with perfection, and instead, you connect with him through feeling. Every man carries a secret longing to feel capable and appreciated. The right words remind him that he is not being tested or controlled but desired. You see, emotional triggers are not about saying what he wants to hear. They are about saying what makes him feel understood. When he feels emotionally safe and validated in your presence, he naturally leans in. You create that safety not by explaining your value, but by embodying it through your tone and energy. Those 5 words, when spoken or texted with emotional authenticity, activate his instinct to chase because they remind him that he has something to pursue, something alive, unpredictable, and emotionally stimulating. Attraction lives in the emotions, not the intellect. He doesn't fall for you because you fit his list or say the right thing. He falls because of how you make him feel. Words have the ability to awaken that feeling. The right message can instantly change the energy between you. A single phrase can shift him from distant to engaged, from distracted to invested. That's the unseen power of emotional triggers. They bypass resistance. When you text him something that makes him curious, that evokes warmth or admiration, you pull him into your emotional world without force. He starts thinking about you when you're not there because his emotional body remembers how it felt to interact with you. It's important to understand that emotional triggers don't come from trying to please or prove yourself. They come from authenticity, from knowing your emotional rhythm and expressing it freely. The more real your energy, the more impact your words have. Men can sense when you're trying too hard just as easily as they can feel when you're grounded. The 5 words that make him chase are powerful because they create emotional movement. They invite him to engage, to wonder, to desire. They stir something inside him that logic cannot silence. When your message reflects curiosity, confidence, or emotional depth, it activates his instinct to pursue what feels rare. The truth is, men are drawn to emotional aliveness. They chase what feels different, what feels alive, what feels like a challenge that touches their emotions, not their pride. When your words awaken that spark, when they remind him that he feels more himself when he's around you, you become magnetic. You stop chasing validation and start communicating from emotional power. The chase then becomes natural, inevitable, and self-sustaining because he isn't chasing your attention. He's chasing the way your energy makes him feel. Everything begins in the mind. Before you type a single word, before you even pick up your phone, your energy is already speaking. The vibration you hold about yourself becomes the foundation of every interaction you attract. If you see yourself as someone who needs to be chosen, your words will reflect that need. But when you shift your self-perception to someone who chooses, someone who is already whole and magnetic, you stop chasing and start attracting. The right 5 words carry power only when they are backed by a mindset that says, I am worthy of love. I am enough, and I do not need to prove it. When you believe in your own value, you send messages from a completely different energy. Calm, secure, and effortlessly confident, your self-image creates the tone of your communication. A person who feels abundant in love doesn't text from fear. They don't overthink, they don't hesitate, and they don't seek constant reassurance. They express themselves freely because they know their worth isn't up for negotiation. That confidence radiates through every message, every pause, and every emoji. The moment you operate from this awareness, you change the entire energetic dynamic between you and him. He feels your certainty. He feels the quiet confidence behind your words, and that's what pulls him closer. People respond to how you see yourself. If you see yourself as valuable, they treat you as valuable. If you see yourself as replaceable, they treat you as replaceable. It's not about pretending to be confident, it's about embodying it. Confidence isn't loud or aggressive, it's peaceful. It's knowing that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. That is the energy that magnetizes. When you text from that state of self-assurance, you no longer need validation from his response because your value isn't dependent on his approval. That detachment is power. It shifts you from chasing energy to attracting energy. The universe mirrors what you believe. When your thoughts are rooted in abundance, there is more than enough love, more than enough connection, more than enough opportunities. You align with experiences that match that frequency. Men, like all people, are drawn to energy that feels secure. When your energy says, I am at peace with myself, it creates a gravitational pull. He senses it even if he doesn't understand it. Your texts become lighter, more natural, and infused with ease. That's when attraction feels effortless, because you're no longer trying to convince him to see your worth. you're simply living it. Self-perception is not a concept, it's a vibration. Every belief you hold sends a silent message into the world. The 5 words you choose are just an expression of that internal belief. Before you send him anything, ask yourself what energy you're sending it from. Are you hoping to get something back, or are you expressing from fullness? Are you acting out of fear that he'll lose interest? Or are you standing in the quiet knowing that what's meant for you will stay? When you text from certainty, you're not trying to control the outcome, you're simply allowing your truth to flow. And that truth is magnetic. It draws him in, not because you need him to chase you, but because your energy already tells him you are the prize. When you align your self-perception with this truth, everything you communicate becomes infused with power, clarity, and emotional resonance in attraction. What you don't say often holds more power than what you do. Silence creates space, and space builds desire. The most magnetic connections are not born from constant communication, but from emotional rhythm, a dance between expression and stillness. When you understand this, you stop filling every moment with words, explanations, or reassurance. You begin to master the art of timing. The right 5 words delivered at the right moment can echo longer than a paragraph ever could. They create a pause, a mental and emotional gap, and that gap becomes the playground of curiosity. He begins to wonder, to imagine, to replay your words, trying to fill in the blanks. The more mystery you create through subtlety, the more his mind stays engaged. Human nature is wired to seek closure. When you say just enough to spark emotion but hold back enough to leave questions, you activate that instinct. He starts chasing not because you demanded attention, but because you invited curiosity. That's the invisible pull of energy and timing. It's not manipulation, it's magnetism. Every pause after your message holds emotional charge. If your energy is calm, confident, and grounded, that pause makes him lean in. He wants to know what you're thinking, how you feel, what's behind your words. But if you fill that space with over-explaining, anxiety, or repeated texts, you take away the magic of that emotional tension. Desire grows in space. Think of it like music. The pauses between the notes make the melody beautiful. If you only play sound without silence, it becomes noise. The same principle applies to communication. The right words followed by intentional silence give him time to feel. In that quiet, your energy lingers. He replays your message, wondering why it felt different, why it touched something deeper. The mystery becomes irresistible. This is the art of emotional pacing. You're not withdrawing, you're allowing energy to breathe. That space tells him, without words, that you're confident enough not to chase. It communicates that you trust your value, that you don't need constant validation, and that you know attraction grows in the unknown. When you create that pause, it's not about playing games, it's about giving energy room to expand. Your stillness becomes magnetic because it contrasts with the noise of neediness. Everyone is used to fast replies, to over-communication, to instant gratification. When your energy resists that rush, it feels rare. It shows depth, patience, and emotional awareness. He feels the difference. He starts anticipating your next message, wondering when it will come, imagining what you might say. That anticipation fuels desire. It's not the frequency of your communication that draws him in. It's the energy of your restraint. The feminine energy thrives in mystery and grace. When you combine the right 5 words with the power of silence, you create balance, expression followed by space, movement followed by stillness. The pause allows him to step into his masculine role, to initiate, to pursue, to respond. You give him space to feel the pull. The energy of attraction expands in that silent field between messages where your calm confidence speaks louder than any words. The pause is not emptiness, it's the container where desire grows, curiosity deepens, and emotional connection strengthens. There is a power in softness that the world often underestimates. True feminine energy is not about control or dominance, it's about presence. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you don't have to chase what is meant for you. When you communicate from that energy, even 5 simple words carry an irresistible pull. They are not loud or demanding. They are inviting, calm, and grounded. They speak to him not through logic, but through emotion. The feminine pull exists in your ability to be both warm and strong at the same time. It's in the way you express interest without attachment, affection without expectation. That delicate balance makes your energy feel safe yet mysterious, comforting yet deeply intriguing. Men are instinctively drawn to energy that feels peaceful yet alive. The more you embody that vibration, the more they lean in. The feminine pull doesn't come from doing more. It comes from being more authentic, more open, more emotionally aligned. When you text from that place, your words are not meant to persuade. They are an extension of your energy. You're not trying to make him chase you. You're reminding him that you are someone worth chasing. The energy behind your message says, "I'm here, but I'm not waiting." It communicates that your life is full, your heart is open, and your peace is intact. That sense of inner completeness draws him closer because it removes pressure and invites desire to unfold naturally. The feminine energy is not passive, it's receptive. It's not about waiting silently, it's about knowing when to express and when to let things flow. When you operate from that space, your messages have rhythm. You may send something light, playful, or emotionally rich, but it's always rooted in security, not fear. You don't rush his responses or question his silence because you trust your energy enough to let it speak for you. That calm detachment is what gives you power. It makes your presence feel like a safe haven in a chaotic world. When a man senses that kind of stability wrapped in warmth, it awakens something deep in him. A longing to move closer, to protect, to cherish. This is why those 5 words, when infused with feminine confidence, feel magnetic. They don't demand, they inspire. They don't chase, they attract. They leave space for him to step forward, to match your energy, to rise into the pursuit. The feminine pull allows him to feel needed, but never controlled, wanted, but never trapped. It gives him room to desire you on his own terms, and that makes the connection real. The beauty of feminine energy lies in its paradox. It's soft yet unshakable, gentle yet commanding. You don't need to overprove your value. You embody it in the way you carry yourself, the tone of your words, and the peace in your silence. That softness becomes a mirror that reflects his deepest emotional desires. When he feels your serenity, your confidence wrapped in kindness, he feels safe enough to chase, to open up, to keep returning to the energy that makes him feel both grounded and alive. Every word you send is a reflection of what you believe about yourself. The energy behind your message mirrors the thoughts and emotions you carry within. When you truly believe you are deserving of love, attention, and respect, that belief radiates through your communication effortlessly. You don't need to craft the perfect sentence or study a formula. Your energy does the work for you. The right 5 words only become magnetic when they're spoken from conviction, not doubt. Every time you text him, you are teaching him how to feel around you. If your energy is confident and loving, he will mirror that back. If it's anxious or uncertain, he will sense that too. This is why your inner belief system is the foundation of attraction. It sets the tone for every interaction you have. The human mind is a powerful transmitter. What you consistently believe, you project into your reality. When your thoughts are aligned with security, gratitude, and emotional abundance, the people around you respond to that vibration. You can tell when someone deeply knows their worth. Their words are fewer, their tone is calm, their presence feels grounded. They don't chase, they don't beg for attention, and they don't crumble when faced with uncertainty. That emotional steadiness is magnetic. When you send a message from that state of mind, he feels it. He can't quite explain it, but something about you feels different, and he becomes drawn to that difference. You become the emotional mirror that reflects to him the kind of energy he craves but rarely finds. Consistency of belief is what maintains attraction. It's easy to feel confident when things are going well, when he's responding, when everything feels aligned. But the real test of magnetism comes when silence appears, when he pulls back, when the rhythm changes. In those moments, your energy reveals your belief system. Do you spiral into fear, or do you remain anchored in the knowing that what's meant for you cannot miss you? When you choose calm over panic, trust over control, you strengthen your magnetic field. That steadiness tells him and the universe that you don't operate from lack. You are the source, not the seeker. That's the energy that keeps him chasing, not because you're hard to get, but because you're hard to shake. Words become powerful only when they align with belief. If you tell him something confident but your energy says otherwise, he feels the dissonance. But when your message, tone, and belief all match, your energy becomes congruent. And congruence is irresistible. People are drawn to what feels authentic and emotionally consistent. That's why the chase doesn't stop after one powerful message. It continues because your vibration keeps reaffirming the same truth. You believe in your worth, and that belief becomes the foundation of the connection. He begins to feel that being around you elevates his own energy, that your presence makes him feel more alive, more confident, more grounded. Attraction is never about words alone. It's about the emotional resonance those words carry. When your belief in yourself becomes unwavering, every word you send, every silence you hold becomes a reflection of power, grace, and emotional certainty that pulls him in again and again.